Every week I slide in, break it down just right. Talking boats with the passion that I bring to the mic. From the big time plays to the moments we grind. You know I'm keeping it honest, that real talk every time. I've been watching this team since way back then, and now I'm riding with my people through the losses and wins. When you pull up to the show, you know what you gon' get. 4630 in the building, Chargers fan represent.
Chargers talk 4630, yeah, we break it down clean. Real fans, real talk, everything in between. From the field to the fans, every moment we see. Turn it up, tune in, it's the place to be.
Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Chargers talk, Chargers talk.
Check out Stacy on YouTube and wherever you get your fire tabs. And also don't forget about BoCap immediately following each Chargers game.
This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Good morning. How's everybody doing? This is Stacy, and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. Thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate you. And before we get started, if I can ask you for a small favor, and that's to subscribe to this podcast right here on YouTube or wherever you listen to your streaming platform. It will really help our podcast. It will help our community continue to grow, and I would appreciate that very much. The Chargers have been busy filling out the coaching staff. 2 days ago, Mike McDaniel was allowed to bring in his former offensive line coach, Butch Barry, to take over the same position with the Chargers. He also worked with Mike McDaniel in San Francisco in 2021, so no surprise there. But I want to talk about the Chargers' newest defensive coordinator, Chris O'Leary, because this hire is a lot more interesting the deeper you get into it. So Chris O'Leary is a name that should sound very familiar. Now, the move came together pretty quickly after Jesse Minter left last week to become the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And once the dust settled, Jim Harbaugh didn't have far to go. He went back to a guy he already knew, he already trusted, and he already had in the building. Now, I want to talk about who Chris O'Leary is, right? Why this hire made sense, and why, when you really look at it, this move is a lot more intentional than it might seem on the surface, right? Chris O'Leary was on the Chargers staff in 2024 as the safeties coach, and that was one of the best defensive seasons this team has had in a long time. That defense went from being near the bottom of the league to one of the best, depending on what metrics you're looking at. And while he was here, Derwin James was thriving, still playing at a Pro Bowl level. You could see the communication on the back end, the discipline, the guys being in position, and that just don't happen. That's coaching, right? After that season, O'Leary leaves the NFL, goes back to the college ranks, and takes over a defensive coordinator position at Western Michigan. And all he did there was completely turn that defense around. They became a top 10 defense, holding opponents to 17 points a game, and they ended up winning the Mid-Atlantic Championship. That was O'Leary showing he wasn't just a position coach. He could run the entire defense. So when Jesse Minter left, I believe Jim Harbaugh looked around and said, why wouldn't I bring this guy back? And this is where it really gets interesting, right? Because when you look at Jesse Minter going back to Baltimore and you look at the Chargers bringing Chris O'Leary back, these two moves are actually very similar. And here's why I say that. Think about Jesse Minter. His coaching roots is in Baltimore, right? That's where he started. He knows that building. He knows how that organization like to operate. He understands their culture. He understands their expectations. He understands how they prepare, and he understands how they do business. So when Baltimore hired him as their coach, that's not a gamble. That's familiarity and trust. They watched him leave. They watched him grow. They watched him take over a Chargers defense that was one of the worst in the league under Brandon Staley, and he turned it into one of the best. So the Baltimore Ravens bring him back because they know exactly who they're getting. Now flip it over to the Chargers. It's the exact same mindset. Chris O'Leary has already been in this building. He's already coached these players. He understands Jim Harbaugh. He understands the standard. He understands how this staff operates on a day-to-day basis. Here's the other layer that really ties it all together. The Ravens and the Chargers front offices, they think the same way. When you really look at it, they think exactly the same way. Think about it. Joe Ortiz comes from Baltimore. Jim Harbaugh has deep ties to that same football tree. At some point, all these guys either worked in the same building, crossed paths professionally, or were shaped and molded by the same systems, whether that was in Baltimore or through Harbaugh's time at Michigan. So when Baltimore goes back to Jesse Minter, that's an organization saying, this guy fits how we think. And when the Chargers bring back Chris O'Leary, it's the same thing, right? This isn't about chasing a hot name. It's about alignment, coaches, general managers, and philosophies all pulling in the same direction. Hey guys, I got to put you on to something I've been checking out. It's a company called Distill Union. They make these slick minimalistic wallets and magnetic key organizers, right? That just makes life easier. And get this, I've got an exclusive 20% off just for you. All you got to do is go to DistillUnion.com, make your purchase, and don't forget, when you check out, use my code ChargeTalk4630. I earn a small commission when you use my code, so when you buy, you're not only supporting me and the show, you're getting the best deal they offer. Both organizations believe in physical football, disciplined defense, player development, and coaches who can teach. That's the common thread that they have between the two. So O'Leary becoming the Chargers defensive coordinator and Jesse Minter becoming the Ravens head coach, that's not coincidence to me. That's organizational philosophy at work. Now let me be clear. O'Leary is inheriting a top defense. The expectation isn't about rebuilding, it's about sustaining the success that Jesse Minter has already put in place. The foundation Jesse Minter left is strong, but what I do expect is a few tweaks, especially in the secondary. This is a defensive coordinator who came up coaching safeties and defensive backs while at Georgia State University prior to doing the same job with the Chargers in 2024. And that matters when you have a chess piece like Derwin James. You might see more disguise, more versatility, maybe a little more aggression in certain spots, right? But the identity stays intact. And the biggest thing to watch for me is player development. Because O'Leary has already proven he can elevate units with less talent, the same as he did at Western Michigan. Now he's got one of the more talented defensive rosters in the National Football League. Now I'm going to close with this. At the end of the day, this hire tells me exactly what Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz is trying to build, right? They value familiarity, they value trust, they value continuity, and they believe culture matters just as much as scheme does. Chris O'Leary is not just the next defensive coordinator. He's the next extension of a philosophy the Chargers are fully committed to. And if this defense stays elite, this move is going to look real smart real fast. Those are my thoughts and opinions today, and that does it for this episode. As always, I appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not on YouTube daily like I was during the season because things are not as busy right now, but I am on the usual streaming platforms at least twice a week when I'm not on here. So don't forget in your travels, anything that's important or needs to be discussed about the team, I can jump on wherever I am on the many devices that I have to discuss anything of importance, and you can hear me on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your podcast at. I'm Stacy. This is Chargers Talk 4630 signing off. Thank you and have the best day ever. And bow up.
All love, all football, yeah, we keep it smooth.